Welcome to ISE's Equity Index Weekly Outlook, a weekly outlook on ISE and other industry indexes, hosted by Patrick Seresna, a derivative market specialist and investment manager with extensive expertise in options and the broader derivative markets. ISE trades options on more than 15 proprietary sector indexes, as well as broad-based indexes and a variety of licensed benchmarks. ISE continually enhances its trading systems and develops new index options products to provide investors with the best marketplace and investment tools to trade smarter.
Hello and welcome to the ISE Equity Index Outlook for December 12, 2011. This is Patrick Seresna. As always, we start off with a chart of the S&P 500 using that SPDR exchange traded fund symbol SPY. We are observing the 116 to 118 support line over the last few weeks, suggesting that so long as any wedging formation coming down finds support along those lines, that it would allow the opportunity for it to reverse and make an actual robust year-end rally. So far, we continue to remain in this direction and trend. We at this stage are looking at a scenario where the euro situation is resolved, and we're now approaching some key overhead resistance levels. If over the next few trading sessions in the first part of the week we have any solid push above the 127, 129 level, it would really solidify that the bottoms of the year are not only in, but that the market will trend higher for the remainder of the year. We continue to believe that there is a chance that maybe not by the end of this year, but maybe in the first few weeks of January, there is room for the stock market to achieve upside targets even as high as the 135 to 137 level. But all of that upside potential really has to start with a solid push to higher highs above this 127, 129. So before we go overly bullish on this market, we do want to see the bulls follow through, particularly now that the Euro Summit is rearview mirror. But if we do see just solid bullish follow through and we don't see an immediate drop back down to 120 or lower, it would allow the market the opportunity to continue to rally. Next here, I want to take a look at the ISE U.S. Regional Banks Index, which is symbol JLO, and the regional banks also continue to look very reasonable. We seen the same type of wedging formation come down, and as well the regional banks coming up back up to this 20.5 to 21 area, where the overhead resistance and the highs of the last rally at the end of October occurred. Again, more than likely this will follow suit with the S&P 500. So if we see that S&P 500 turn bullish and we see it exceed its previous highs, the regional banks are very cyclical and will go along with that market. We could see 22 to 2250 on the upside very easily by year end if the S&P does follow through on the upside. Next here, I want to take a look at the ISE Index, which is a symbol SIN. This is an index of all the casino, tobacco, and distiller companies. Again, almost an identical chart to the S&P and even the regional banks. We have almost what a lot of junior technicians would call an inverted head and shoulders along the downside as well. That wedging formation forming the right shoulder is now coming up to its previous highs, also in this 129, 130 level. If we can have any good push through that level on the upside, then by the year end we could see the index also trading up along its previous highs around 140, 142. Recognize that both the index and regional banks will all go in unison with the market. So really the first analysis is to watch the S&P make the break, and then watch the sub-indices all moving along with the trends in the broader market. Next here, I want to take a look at the ISE Home Builders Index, which is symbol RUF. This is a particularly interesting chart because the home builders have actually been leading the way. And that's almost a rare thing to have said over the last 3-4 years, is where the home builders are actually performing very well. But the home builders have already exceeded their highs from October and November, which basically means that money is coming into those home builders, and it is a contrary play that is obviously right now attracting a lot of interest, even though the media is certainly not on it. But we can definitely identify from the price action that home builders are well underway, and we could definitely see a test of 810, 830 on the upside in the upcoming week. Next year, I want to take a look at the ISE Natural Gas Index, which is symbol FUM, and the Natural Gas Index actually looks almost identical to the Syndex chart, which we talked about earlier. The same kind of almost inverted head and shoulders. We've had that wedging formation test that 105, 108 focal point, and now it's coming up and testing that 120, 123. This will again move with all the broader markets. So when we have the S&P and the Syndex and the regional banks all breaking higher at the same time, the natural gas index will follow suit. Any break of this 120 to 123 on the upside would allow the natural gas index to rally all the way up towards the 136 to 140 level going into the year end. Finally, I want to take a look at the ISE Mini FTSE 100 Index, which is symbol UKX. And the FTSE has been far more range-bound, but it still remains relatively positive. We saw those double bottoms occur in August and October along that 500 level on the downside. And the retest in November was very deep, almost coming for a full retest on the downside. We find now that the FTSE is trading all the way back near its highs and is consolidating at a level where if all the global indices rally, especially if all the European indices, the DAX, the CAC, and so on, all rally, and particularly if the North American markets accompany it, we should see a break on the upside of that 565, 570 on the upside of the FTSE. But again, that would come in unison with all of the global markets. That was your ISE Equity Index Outlook. Thank you for joining me.
Thank you for participating in this week's session. Please join us again next week. For more information about Patrick Ceresna and to sign up for free index options trade alerts, visit www.optionsource.net. To learn more about ISE index options, visit us at www.ise.com/indexoptions.